I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Steer from the 3. Streaks across the 30. He might be gone.
It's up. Gaston to the right. Oh,
They got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got the truth again.
Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get this. And it's going to take everybody.
All right, Canes fans, welcome back to another edition of the Miami Knights podcast with Joe, Jimmy, and Kurt. We are a part of the College Huddle Network. Big thank you to Joe for holding it down last week with that Bethune-Cookman preview show.
Yeah,
that was riveting stuff.
It seemed lonely over there.
It was. Yeah.
Just talking to yourself for 25 minutes.
If you guys missed it, keep in mind we we drop a small weekly show or an interview with our opponent-led college podcast family. You can catch that on YouTube. It's where if you want to see our lovely faces, Joe was on there. We are coming on there on YouTube. This week we'll feature Jimmy, most likely, getting into it with USF.
Yeah, God willing.
On today's episode, we're going to dive into what I would consider a methodical victory over Bethune-Cookman. We'll get you ready for this week's top 20 matchup with the second best team in the state of Florida, the South Florida Bulls. We will briefly
Are you still
discuss...
one of my lines for my aftermath report? I'll nix that out.
It's a layup. It's too easy right now. We're gonna briefly discuss a little advanced metrics, maybe how this the impact this might have on the playoff committee. Saw some weird stuff there today, and we'll finish up as always with our locks of the week and score predictions for your Canes. Boys, we're 2-0. We're moving on. How we feeling?
Man, 2-0 feels pretty good. Like you said, methodical victory. It was everything you could have wanted. Boys, I'm drinking a highbrow Oktoberfest. It is September. It is Oktoberfest season, and September is, I feel like, notoriously a pretty good month for the Canes. And then usually the spooky season from October comes and messes everything up. I feel different about this. 2 games in, and one of them was Bethune-Cookman, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
really
if we could combine our Septembers from the past 8 years, we'd have 4 more national championships. September's a great month for the Miami Hurricanes. But yeah. Great win. We'll get into it. It was, a lot of great things happened, but a tough one to watch at times because it just felt like it went by super quick and it was a little slow on Bethune-Cookman's side, which kudos to them, made the score not look as bad. So yeah. Happy to be 2-0.
It was a slog, right? And they kept talking about Mario's relationship with the Bethune-Cookman coach. They both coached together at Oregon. It felt like weirdly like that there was an agreement between the two of them to not embarrass Bethune-Cookman on the field.
Yeah, I feel like Mario's a guy in general that's not going to run up the score, but in this case,
unless you're on his bad side,
right?
If you're Florida, Notre Dame, he's gonna.
But it's like look at Florida State game last year. We could have just absolutely pummeled them, and they
played a similar way Bethune did. They played not to get blown out.
Yeah, and it was definitely funny. Mario trying to help his friend out over there, who by the way was looking a little unhealthy.
Oh, he was about to drop any second.
Did not look well. Highly suggest maybe going to see a doctor.
All right, we want to get in the aftermath report before I get too far into my analysis.
Absolutely. Let's get
into
it, Jim.
I'll do. All right. It's game 2 of 6 at home, and we saw our Miami Hurricanes take on the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Hide your wife, hide your children, because this could get ugly, and I'm not talking about Clemson's performance against Troy. Ooh. We started off with a bang. as the Hurricanes started out on D and Wesley Basainth got ejected faster, and you could say Amari Carter. But Miami didn't let that stop them. A defensive stop and a few swift passes to Malachi Baby Jesus Toney, and bam! A monster touchdown pass to Odell Beckham Daniels, putting the Canes on the board. Then it was Mark Fletcher who rumbling, bumbling, stumbling his way into the end zone. By the end of the first quarter, Miami was up 14-0. Into the second quarter we go. Elijah Lofton gave the offense a spark going down the field, but was stopped just short. No worries though, because Jarmar Brown finished the job, making it 21-0, taking that line from Joe last week. Bethune-Cookman showed a bit of fight here, moving the ball down the field to score a respectable field goal, bringing the score to 21-3. Taking up so much clock, I was expecting to look across the field and see Paul Johnson's Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. But lightning struck again before the first half ended. Did I say Odell Beckham Daniels? I meant CJ Moss climbing up and snagging a 50-50 ball to put the Canes up 28-3. Opening up the second half, the Hurricanes are back with another methodical drive, this time capped off by another bruising run from the legs of Fletcher, extending the lead 35-3. Bethune-Cookman fought back with another long drive, but Miami's defense got hungry, and they decided to make a Timmy McClain sandwich, a big sack and fumble, and it was Hurricanes' ball again. The backups came in, and Pringle, who I thought was a potato chip, turns out he's the juice with a quick and fantastic run, putting up the Canes 42-3. Bethune looked to get their first TD of the day, but Bryce Fitzgerald, the true freshman, came up with a massive interception to seal the deal. Miami dominated from start to finish, claiming victory with a final score of 45-3 after the battered and beaten Bert Auburn took his first kick of the year to put those 3 points on the board. Miami Hurricanes extend their current home win streak to 8 games as they take on the Gator-killing USF Bulls, who apparently did what is the impossible and beat a team with an on-campus stadium, and who have the Gators scrolling back to their Fire Billy graphics that they created 1 year ago on Labor Day. Go Canes.
Jimmy with
Thanks,
his
guys.
first aftermath report.
Thanks,
Love
guys.
it.
I don't know where I am right now.
Great job. I gotta say, I don't think Pringle is gonna appreciate being called the Juice. That is a nickname most people.
Yeah, so I
are
didn't.
trying.
I wrote, "He's got the juice," and I didn't say that.
Okay.
And
so
now,
you're not
looking back on it, I'm not saying that
he's OJ.
he is
Simpson.
OJ
he's
Simpson.
O.J.
Just happens to be the same
moment.
running back and a running back in the same nickname. Did not mean that. Just meant he has the juice.
Oh man,
I
love it.
I was like, man, what was so controversial about that when I said it? And I realized I totally missed that part. He's got blood on his hands as he runs down the field. Oh man, yeah. Go Canes.
So guys, watching this game on ACC Network Extra, I had to move it off the TV after like the second possession. I mean,
Yeah.
the commentating was brutal.
Oh, it's
The
not
camera work was
even the D
brutal.
squad, the F squad. It's I think they hired these guys in the stands.
They kept on saying Jordan Lyle
Yeah.
for a defender. They were just looking at a sheet of paper with numbers, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Also, apparently I was like 2 minutes behind. Like I got alert, like the game, I got the ESPN alert that the game was over before I'm watching it go to the 2-minute warning. The whole game, I was 2 minutes. So I don't know if that was ACC Network Plus issues, my own Wi-Fi issues or what, but hated
Yeah,
it.
I dropped $11 for that because I didn't have ESPN Plus, and you know it's gonna be bad when like the first like opening line and they say the U is back, and I'm like, all right, that's what we're dealing with right now. So
Won't get much
Positive
better this
Jimmy.
week because we're going to CW Network. So
That's right.
it's the biggest
mighty
CW network game in the history of the network.
They had a top 20 matchup last week as well. I mean, what
They're
a
like,
hit
it's a
that
great
was.
deal.
It's crazy.
the new ABC.
I mean, Jimmy, the bright side, you spent $11, but now you can also watch Moana. So
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. That's I'm like,
You
I'm
can
sure
watch
there's
Family
some
Guy.
subscription or deal I have where I own ESPN Plus in some deep crevice of
gotta
my
be.
emails, but
Yeah.
I was just like, bite the bullet. Let's just grab it.
Yeah.
And you can watch Boise State field hockey That was
Yeah.
that was on as well.
Wow. That's beautiful. Well, Jimmy got into it. Carson Beck, I mean, started off 15 of 15. He set a Hurricanes record. Um, we just, I mean, once again, and obviously, we dominated the line of scrimmage. The running back room was outstanding. We forced some turnovers. Special teams. I think this was one of those games we talked about it going into this week of what do you want to see when you play against a Bethune-Cookman to make it worthwhile. And I think you just saw what have we struggled with. We might have been good in September's record-wise in the past, but if you think about the details like the Appalachian State games and
Right.
I mean, we've really had some wins that have been really ugly. And I think we made no bones about this one. We just got after him, right from the jump.
Right.
And I think it was just nice to see us look crisp.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was watching the Duke Illinois game before. I think they were the noon kickoff, but it was just giving me, I tweeted about it, but it was giving me PTSD watching this Duke team that was like, all intents and purposes, dominating the game and controlling the ball and making plays and getting down the field, and they were somehow losing the game because it was sloppy. They made stupid, horribly timed mistakes. And that's what we have been used to, especially in these like easy games. It's like we then pull away because talent, beats the other team. But we didn't have that this game. It was just like from the rip, just domination, and yeah.
Yeah, we should have known when we picked our final score predictions that the way that Mario likes to play these games is just, I mean, truthfully.
Well, that's why I had it in the 50s, but it still didn't even get there.
Yeah, like at one point when we scored to make it 35 points, like kind of like halfway through the third quarter, it was about 10 minutes left in the third quarter. That was only our fifth possession. Like we had scored every possession, but like we just never got the ball back. Bethune-Cookman was literally, they were like standing at the line watching the play clock run down like they were about to knee the ball to end the game. It's the second quarter. It was, I get it, but it's also like, if I'm those players, I'm kind of like, that's the way you upset teams. Like if you're the underdog, the way you beat teams is by shortening the game. Bethune-Cookman never had a chance to win this game, so I'm just like, what are we doing? Just play, let's play some football here. It was frustrating.
I don't know. Those guys are trying not to get killed. At the same, they get a targeting call to say the first defensive possession. Like my,
it was just excruciating to watch. I mean, that's truly a game that if you're not a fan of either team, it's an excruciating watch because it's just Miami can do whatever they want with the football, but they're not getting the football. Bethune-Cookman's running out the clock.
Tough. I'm watching the first half just hoping no one goes down with an injury. And
I know.
Wanting to see our backups because we played them into the second half a little bit. I'm like, I get it. They score what, like you said, it wasn't because we barely had any possessions. The score wasn't that crazy, but But I mean, I don't think I've heard any big injuries come out. Trader didn't dress, and Lyle, he's still banged up for sure. But like no one in the game, from what I know, got hurt.
Yeah, I didn't see anything come out this week. Just the two that you mentioned. If they were gonna when they're coming back, I haven't seen a timeline. And as we've talked about on here, is like Mario's not going to tell us.
No,
I mean, we're going to find out before kickoff of one of these upcoming games. I was surprised too. I was a little surprised at how long the guys stayed in, but it had to have been a numbers thing. They had to have had a certain amount of plays or possessions that the coaching staff wanted to see them. The other thing I just couldn't help but think about as I'm watching Shannon Dawson call this game is that we've talked about his evolution as our offensive coordinator. There was a time a couple of years ago where I don't think we would have been sad to see Shannon Dawson go. I think I could even be a little bit more brutally honest and say there were starting to be murmurs like, do we need to find a better guy? Yeah. It wasn't like Josh Gaddis bad, or Dan Enos. But there was talk, right? Like we were like, the offense is stagnant. There's too many bubble screens and tunnel screens. And I think what time has told, Shannon Dawson now is a unanimous top 5 offensive play caller in the country. And I think what we've learned is this guy didn't have the right quarterback. And
Right.
we didn't, it took us a while to understand how bad Tyler Van Dyke was. And because I'm watching this game and I'm thinking, these are the plays that I used to watch against Middle Tennessee State. And, I mean, the 2022 season, like it felt like I was watching that all over again. But I think we saw some evolutions of those plays, the way that he figures out how to get Tony the ball and let these guys, the talent gap too, right? Is like, that's the other thing, is when you can call plays, like call a game like he called, and to see us just absolutely dominate it was nice.
A game like that has to be hard for him to call, because literally you could run the ball every single time and we would win by 5 touchdowns.
And you could just throw goes as many times as you want. Like, our guys are just going to be straight faster than them.
Yeah. So
other than actually that one defensive back played Josh Moore pretty
Bethune,
well.
they've got some dogs on that team, Jimmy.
But I'm saying, like, we kept it short. Like we were working through plays rather than like we could have just been thrown it deep as much as we wanted.
Yeah. All right, Storm
boys.
Awards.
We are going to move on to our Storm Awards segment. Joe, I'll start with you. We'll start first. We'll start in the positives here. All right. Okay. We'll start with our Hurricane. Who's your Hurricane of the game?
Oh, there's a lot of ways I can go with this. Last week I gave it to Carson Beck because I had some others stolen from me. I'm going to go with going Malachi Tony. I'm going Malachi Tony, and it's stemming off of, like, it's just, I know it's Bethune, but it's one of those things, what he did against Notre Dame, 17 years old, true freshman, and then coming into this game, it's like, wait, this is not some fluke. This guy is our legit wide receiver 1. And the way we executed screen passes with him, just how shifty he is, his hands, everything about Malachi Tony is everything you could want in a receiver. And we think about how we lost Xavier Restrepo last year. How are we gonna fill that void? Oh boy, did we fill it and then some. It's just, I cannot wait to watch this guy the rest of the season. Malachi Tony, Hurricane of the week.
Love it.
You better love it.
I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball.
One other thing. Sorry, Jimmy. One other thing I want to say about Malachi Tony. On the punt returns, he's so smart too. He literally
when he pushed the guy out of the way.
Yes, when pushed Day out of the way, he's the only, he's just light years ahead of everyone else in his brain, in his body, everything.
17.
Yeah, pushing a guy out of the way so he doesn't hit that, so he doesn't get touched by the ball for a fumble.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm going defensive side of the ball. I think we're starting a Heisman campaign for this man. Reuben Bain. Another sack, 3 total tackles, 2 by himself, 1 for loss. He's just a man amongst boys, especially in a game like this. But you can just tell that last year he was definitely riddled with some type of injury that he got in the Florida game, because the speed and just quickness he has off the snap this year, we didn't see that last year. He shed some weight, but he's just the perfect build for a defensive end and just looks unbelievable. So Reuben Bain, Hurricane of the week.
Yep. Now he's got that bionic looking arm.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Makes him look even...
That's just gotta hurt so bad when he gets to you. I saw a great video this week of them analyzing this guy analyzing the Notre Dame film when he's basically spun the left tackle, or is it the right tackle? Which side is he on? Yeah, right tackle. Backwards, where basically the right tackle is running towards the quarterback with him, and it's just the man. He's just his technique, his fire, and it's just money.
Yep. I love it. My hurricane of the week actually is a guy who I've brought up on this podcast before. I think it was a couple weeks ago in the preview show, who I wanted to see some more from. Offensive lineman, Big Samson, Pancake,
Yeah, it's a good one.
Loma. I mean, I thought he was fantastic. I actually he was good against Notre Dame too. He pretty much split snaps at guard. He played a lot more tackle this week, but former 5-star guy, big time. I think he's a guy that when we brought him in, we expected to see, you know, him and CC Maui Noah be our bookend tackles. And I think his versatility has become a real strength in being
Yeah.
able to move him across the offensive line and give us depth. It's awesome to see. Still a young guy too, so he's really coming into his own. And I gotta he's been our highest graded. I don't love PFF, but he's been our highest graded offensive lineman actually 2 weeks in a row now.
Is
Through this
he redshirt sophomore?
redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, that's great.
Hmm.
That's great. Yeah, no, he's because that was one of those players that's like, oh, where's this five? Because he was 5-star, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, where has he went and what has he done? And now like we're seeing it's like it's the Mario way. Like we were told to be patient with not only like players but with our team, and year in year out consistency, and now we're kind of seeing that these things pay off, and hopefully recruits can see that. You know, a guy like Pancake who could have easily transferred somewhere
yep.
and probably gotten a similar role that he has this year, maybe just a straight up starting role, but stayed the course. He's with probably, I would say, probably the best offensive line coach in the country, and
Mhm.
he's seeing that pay off. So yeah, it's a good
There's
one.
a couple because of the way it shakes out nowadays. There's a couple guys just quickly that like you find appreciation for like the Wesley Besainth is to me, he's one of my favorite players on the team because he has stuck it out and
Yeah.
he's worked on his craft. He's developed and he's hung in there and stayed with Miami. And I think Sampson is on his way because I 1,000%. There was never been any murmurs about it, but in the back of my mind, every offseason, it's like, is he
Yeah.
going to leave? Am I going
Right.
to see him in the portal?
Yeah.
I mean, same with Reuben Bain too. Like we were worried
Yep.
about that, and he stuck through it. And I mean, he committed to Miami in the dark days. So
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because he was after the Middle Tennessee.
I believe
Right?
I believe he was on an official visit in that Middle Tennessee State game.
Oh,
And Mario Criswell had to look
Anyone-
him and his family in the eye and tell them it's gonna be okay.
I need
Mario,
a
I
visit
could have
list
used
for
you in
that
the parking
game.
lot. I could have used you in the parking lot. Tell me it was gonna be okay.
All right, Joe. Tropical storm. Who
I
do we got
mean,
here?
I might be taking your guys' here. It could have been the hurricane of the week, and I'm going to my hurricane of the week last week. My tropical storm of the week is Carson Beck. The guy was just absolutely efficient. His arm strength is unbelievable. One of the things that really impresses me about Carson Beck is his ability to just make. Not only can he make every throw is right on the money. Like, and especially with the screen balls. Like, I think when we're talking about Tyler Van Dyke, how many screen balls were just like thrown inaccurately? It slows everything up. It ruins the whole play. Beck is just, they're right on the money. They're right at the chest. Receiver catches them while going upfield, and that makes such a huge difference. Carson Beck, a lot of people are comparing him to Ken Dorsey because of number 11. I've heard some Steve Walsh, for keeping in the Hurricane family, Steve Walsh comparisons. I'm like, he's almost like he's a more athletic Tom Brady, just the way that he just delivers passes on the money and just picks apart defenses. Like, I love this guy. Carson Beck for Heisman, Jimmy, not Reuben Bain. Carson
I'm
Beck to the
beginning-
Dolphins.
Oh my God, we can't talk about it. At least we have the Canes. Can't even. It frees up my Sundays watching that product.
The season's over.
Yeah.
just
No, it was
quickly
one
touch on
drive.
that. The
Once
season's over.
Once I saw
Mention
Daniel
0-1 and it is
yeah.
over.
I saw Daniel Jones driving down the field in the first drive, and I texted my buddies. I was like, now I know my Sundays are free.
We made Danny Dimes look like Peyton Manning.
Oh, MVP. Like, he was not picked up by anyone in our fantasy league, and he just, like, did numbers. The
Carson
commits
Beck,
at
tropical storm of the week.
The commits at the Middle Tennessee State. Just go back to that. Ray Joseph was there, and Damari
Mm.
Brown. So those are some true Canes,
There
and
we go.
I think that says something about those guys.
Can you imagine? That just blows my.
And Ray had just decommitted from Clemson, so
Like being a fan is like
he wants to be a Cane.
we're like I get it being a fan, but like you're like this
You're
is
thinking
my
about your
life,
future.
my career. I could go play anywhere. Yeah. All right. What do you got, Jim?
My tropical storm of the week is Pringle making the most use of his touches. He got 2 touches, and he had that. I think it
The
was
juice.
the juice.
Instead of were you tweeting out the Pringle can this week?
I tweeted that. Yeah.
Instead of the Pringle can,
Just it's a
O.J.
glove.
Simpson.
I tweeted that 2 minutes late. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. They're like, yeah.
Like, dude, that happened.
We already had the ball
driving
the
out
next time.
No, that was a bad one. But Pringle, it just he looked fast. I mean, like you see those guys that just kind of have that extra gear to them. He was a guy I was really wanting to see more of. He didn't get 2. He only got 2 touches, but I mean, make the most of it. Do what you can with the touches you get. So yeah, Gerard Pringle, future looks bright.
Yep. Speaking of future looks bright, my tropical storm of the week is another true freshman hailing from Christopher Columbus High School, Mr. Bryce Fitzgerald. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I thought he was going to go to Auburn. I guess it was Auburn or Florida, what looked like the whole way. Safety, consensus 4-star, top 10 safety in the country. Top 150 player. One of our biggest blue chips from this last class that is looking like it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
But his ball skills are freaking awesome. He was playing against Notre Dame. I remember after the Notre Dame game, I'm like, who is this number 13? Because he was playing in the slot. I mean, he's been playing all over the secondary so far. And nice little interception in this game against Bethune. Another
he
guy
swarmed on that thing. Like I thought it was gonna be a
Ball
touchdown
hawk,
pass.
they call
Yeah.
it.
He was all over. I think I actually read that he led the state of Florida in pick sixes last year, or maybe it was just he had a good amount of them. But the same type of verbiage I heard from Mario about Malachi Tony after the Notre Dame game was that, secrets out. Pretty much said the same thing about Bryce Fitzgerald. Said that they've been seeing this kid ball out in practice, and he's going to play more and more and more. And just another guy for us to get excited about. This recruiting class, it looks like, I mean, we're 2 games into their careers. It looks really special. So I'm really excited.
Definitely. Yeah, these true freshmen definitely look different than true freshmen we've had in the past. Just even their physicality and their size.
I mean, when you find those the game ready guys that you don't have to hold their hand and develop and wait on, I mean, those are the guys that change the program, because the next class is looking like, all right, if I am ready to play, I can go ball at Miami.
Right. And with the state of college football, you don't really know how long you ever have a player for.
Yeah.
So to have guys that can have an impact year one is just huge.
Yep.
And I think I can finally say, like, if and with like many coaches in the country, many fan bases look at their coach and wonder how they play people, and like, is it seniority, like, is there favorites? With Mario at the helm, I'm like 100% convinced now that like he is going to put the best guys on the field. I mean, you look at Malachi Tony starting, like everyone would like normally say Ray Joseph would have been our starter in the slot, but he sees Malachi Tony, he sees what he's capable of, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give it a nod, and it's the right call. So I just love that. Yeah, he's rewarding good play at practice and players that are doing the right thing, and the ones that are making plays on Saturdays.
Absolutely. I think that is when he talks about the competition level on Green Tree. And again, I say this every week, the guy, he loves Miami more than anything on the planet. I mean, and when you have a coach like that, it's not a job to him. Like
Yeah.
he what did he say after Notre Dame? He will not be able to die in peace until he knows that this program is back to where it should be. So
You and me both, Mario.
Yeah.
he's going to play the best players. The
It's about time
guys
we
who
had someone
ball.
that cared as much as we did at the helm.
It really is a nice when you look at what's going on at the University of Florida.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Oh, I wish I was at that game. The students were like trying to resell those tickets at UF for like $150 because they were just so high on this team. And I'm glad I didn't buy a ticket for $150. But it was like $50. I was gonna snag it just to quietly cheer for the Bulls. But gosh, it would have been a fun one to be at. Would have been a good one.
They're calling that game Bull Spit. I'm not sure if you
That's
saw
awesome.
that today. But
I
another
mean,
iconic the
yes.
shoe throw and Bull Spit. That's the gift that keeps on giving. All right. This might have been a little bit tougher for you guys. It's not. I'm heartless, I'm but a game against
I know who you're gonna
Bethune-Cookman. I'm sure you guys do.
Uh,
Tropical depression. Who we got? Who let you down this week?
You know who my tropical depression is? You know who let me down? The targeting rule let me down. It is time for a change in this targeting rule because, okay, I get it.
It was targeting.
I get Jimmy, let me finish. We need to move to a point where there is like the NBA flagrant 1, flagrant 2, there needs to be levels to targeting. So if you review it and it's like this is targeting, but it is clearly not it's not what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say lethal.
Yeah,
like
egregious.
egregious no, there's like a specific word I'm looking for. But like
juice.
The juice, yes. If it's not the juice. No, but like you look at that targeting and be like, yes, technically on paper this is targeting, but there was no malicious intent is the word I was looking for.
You should be in my torts law class with that dog.
Then give it 15 yards. It's a 15-yard penalty, but the guy doesn't get ejected. To get ejected on that play and have to sit out the rest of the game is insane. It's insane to me that Wesley Basanth gets ejected from the game for making a hard hit on a bang-bang play that, yes, it's targeting, and we want to try to get these guys not to hit each other's in the heads like that. So just call it a 15-yard penalty. Maybe if you get 2 flagrant ones, you're out. So if he gets another one of those non-malicious ones, he's out, maybe. But we got to change the rule. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
That's my tropical depression of the week, this stupid targeting rule.
And if he did it 2 quarters later, he'd missed the first half of the game this week.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's way too penal. I mean,
It
it's
is
crazy.
Yeah, like it served its purpose when it was new. It's done what it needed to do. You don't see as many of these big hits now, but yeah, they definitely need to take a note from the NFL how they deal with it.
You know when you're looking at, we can start finding these guys now since they're getting paid,
Right.
but you know when you're looking at it, like, oh, that was a dirty hit. So, yeah, he should get ejected. It was so late. It was at the head. He's done. Or it's like, that's a bang-bang play, but yep, that is crown of the helmet. 15-yard penalty for like call, and you get 2 of those, then you're out.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I'm being picky, right? Because it was 45-3. Defense played a good game, but I will say I'm a little nervous going into USF with Brown at quarterback who can run. And it's the second week in a row that we've seen the quarterback get free a little bit, and we're not containing as well on the quarterback position when they have legs. So I'm a little nervous about that going to USF. But like I said, I mean, they only scored 3 points, but they definitely had some drives where defense looked a little soft. Quarterback got some runs. DBs were a little back. I'm not going to get too picky on it, but yeah. Running quarterbacks, I want us to tighten that up because that's like after watching that USF game, I mean, that's mostly what they have. Is that how that's how that offense runs? Yep. So if we can stop that, we stop USF.
Yeah, I would. The second second string defensive linemen were a bit of a concern. There was a clear drop off there, and like since we're doing a lot of rotations, that concerned me a bit. And yeah, like you said, we lost contain a lot. Like we'd get in the backfield, wouldn't be able to finish the play, and then would lose contain. Yeah.
They finally woke up. Like I think our defense. I think they need to settle down. Those like second stringers. Like they started getting to the quarterback a little bit more, playing a little smart. I think everyone was just like wanting to make the big play coming into the game. But yeah,
That's kind of how I took it. Like I just think those guys need to settle down because I'm with you. I thought as a whole there was a little too much of a drop off, a little too much bend in that second unit. But my depression of the week is none other than Mr. Emery Williams.
that's why I held off.
And I'm sorry. Thank you for your service, first of all. Okay. Clemson should have been Florida State if he didn't break his arm in half. Okay. Again, another guy who has toughed it out. He stayed with the program, right? He hasn't left us high and dry. We'd be very thin at the quarterback position if he wasn't there. And you might even be looking at this game going, he was 8 for 12. He threw some good passes. He had a 14 QBR. His QBR was 14.8.
Oh, no.
Because he stunk. He stinks. It was the most unimpressive 8 for 12. It looked like he had a noodle arm in the bowl game against Iowa State. I don't know what that game was about. And then all of a sudden he has a rocket launcher. He's throwing it over Ray's head.
Oh, wasn't
up
even
the
close.
seam. He's
He was
wide
so
open.
He was
Put
so
some touch
open.
on the ball. I don't like
It was
the
a
way
good
he
throw to
moves in the
Josh Moore.
pocket. He threw a good pass to Josh Moore.
Good D. It was
Baby
good D.
Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he moves in the pocket.
He's a one
You know
read
what?
wonder too.
He had a run to the sideline where like he was like jawing with the Bethune-Cookman, and
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
got
like,
that dog in him.
It was like this first play, and he's just like
it was.
jawing at him.
It was. He picked
I'm like,
up
I think
over the yard.
he's definitely reading the tweets about him where people are like, "Oh, this guy's got it in him." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna show him."
To me, I've seen enough. I don't. It's like I said it last week, and I feel the same way this week. I want to see Luke Nickel.
Yeah.
I want this guy. I would have loved for Luke Nickel to get some reps and just to start to feel a little more comfortable. And listen, maybe he's not ready. Maybe this is about throwing Emery a bone because he hung in there. Maybe Mario wants to keep him as the backup. I don't want to go into next season where it's up in the air again. And now it's just like we got nothing. We're kind of like we're gonna roll into next season with our fingers crossed about Luke Nickel, or maybe we hit the portal again. But maybe I know that I'm being a little dramatic, but
he looks very unnatural back there. It's just like I could expect that out of a freshman. I can expect that out of a sophomore, but he's in like at least year 3, maybe year 4 with a retro. I actually don't know when he started, but it's just you would expect more at this point.
He's a redshirt sophomore. Yeah.
Okay, so 3rd year. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep it moving here.
One other thing I wanted to mention about this game. Absolute gamer. Another cool thing that happened that just shows the difference of the mentality. We've seen it year over year with these Mario teams, just the teams buying in more, the players buying more. There is a moment very late in the game, in the 4th quarter. I mean, at this point, everybody's checked out, but Aguirre is showing Heatherman the iPad, like showing they just gotten a stop, and he's dissecting the play, like talking to Heatherman. It's like he still cares at that point. And that's just it's a small glimpse into the mentality of this team. Like, it's clear this is a unit that just wants to win. It's like the egos are very small in this team. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it feels like a professional team.
Yep. I think to Jimmy's point earlier, when the defense was starting to bend, that second unit, and Bethune had the long quarterback run where they got into our territory. When they flashed to Heatherman on the sideline, I mean, the guy is just prowling the sideline.
He's got
He
the
looks
the
intense
coaching
at all
armband.
times. Yeah,
He's
wears
like the
black.
quarterback.
I mean, that guy. I like this guy already. I love him. I mean, I think he's outstanding.
We need to get that Bethune-Cookman backup quarterback a helmet that fits. The thing was just pop. It's like he's gonna get himself killed out there.
Oh,
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna keep it moving here. We'll move on to. I think we'll do a little bit of kind of double dip here. So we got, as far as this week is concerned, I passed some information along to you guys earlier, but I think it kind of piggybacks and leads us into this USF game with where we're at and how we feel versus how the country is taking in the starts of this season. I think, yesterday there were some really odd scores for a lot of those games for a long time, and some weird ones. USF, I mean, technically, right? They have probably the best resume in the country,
yeah.
right? I mean, they've got
Has to.
two big
Definitely.
wins. You go into
two
the swamp
top
and win that
25
game.
wins.
Yeah. I mean, so this team is rolling, and I think we've talked about it before about how the preseason poll is so. I'm not a fan of it at all. I wish the preseason poll would go away because, again, I mean, Clemson, goodness gracious, the way that they struggled with Troy, and I had that game on the TV, really just moving the ball up and down the field.
Yeah.
South Carolina struggled for a while with South Carolina State. There's
Even the Georgia score. What was that?
Georgia
28-6 Austin P.
Yeah, Austin P.
Yeah.
And then what was LSU's score? I
Yeah.
mean, Louisiana Tech, decent squad. Don't play them in a bowl game.
It was, I think it was 10-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
We saw Penn State. FIU was kind of weird for a little while. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
FIU didn't score a touchdown, but excuse me, it was a weird one there for a long time. Illinois, Duke was funny, and then Duke just completely melted down. But anyways, so where we're sitting here, ESPN today comes out with their FPI, and my concern and why this has me so riled up is because the College Football Playoff Committee in August released a statement that they are going to be using more of the advanced metrics as they are ranking teams for the College Football Playoff and ultimately seeding teams at the end of the season for the College Football Playoff. So your Miami Hurricanes, who have taken down the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and put away very easily, did our job. We came out and did our thing against Bethune-Cookman. We fell 17 spots in the S&P, and we fell 6 spots, which we were already in what were we? We were 16 last week in the ESPN RPI, and this week we come in today at 21. Okay. The SEC, by the way, makes up 13 of the top 25 teams.
Yeah.
Arkansas is ranked ahead of us.
It's unbelievable. It honestly makes me want to throw up, because why even play the games? And this is starting to creep into the College Football Playoff every year. Why play the games when we put all of these different statistics into paper? You spot teams like Texas and like Bama, and you spot these teams 2 games at least to start off the season because of these stupid metrics. And then they look into the probability, like, if these 2 teams played now, who would probably win? That's the team that gets more deserving. Well, no, because USF, who would probably win versus UF and USF going into that game? Win probability, USF or Florida was a 17-point favorite. Win probability was like 80% or higher, and USF goes there and beats them. Like, let's just start looking at records, strength of schedule, fine, but these insane FPI, S&P, the Dow index, it's insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, you look at UF schedule. It is a super hard schedule, but they're like, you take the numbers out of like the front of the team's names, and how hard is that? Like, it's hard because you guys are saying the SEC is this incredible, unbelievable conference. I saw a ton of
Deeper than they've
mediocre
ever
teams.
been. Deeper than
Yeah,
they've ever been.
I saw a ton of mediocre teams play this Saturday, and I mean, your flagship program in the SEC loses to a team in the ACC. They went 2-10 last year in the opening game of the season. So, but they're going to forget that. That's not going to be remembered.
Well,
and
they're
then they
also
always
now they're going to rank FSU top
yeah,
10.
yeah. But and the other thing is, like, they'll always parade week in, week out, we're playing the schedule. It beats down these players. Well, how do you explain the loss to USF? Because you played Long Island University the first game, and then supposedly the Swamp, which is like the supposed to be top 5 hardest place to play, and USF goes in there and wins the game. So but they'll forget about it, and it's money, and it's power, and they have it. And the Big Ten, the SEC, they're gonna keep. Big Ten does it a little bit less. SEC does it the most, but Big Ten still does it. Is just like this propaganda of this just holier than thou with these teams, that there's like just so many mediocre teams within these conferences.
Yeah.
It's also insane. Go ahead, Kurt.
The irony of it, though, is right. It's like in the offseason, we have to listen to, is Clemson going to leave for the SEC? Is Virginia, going to leave for that? Like, where are teams going to move to? And it all feeds into this discussion. It's like circular logic, because the strength of schedule, strength of record, it all comes
it's
from
all
the same
circular.
thing.
That's a perfect word.
And so now these teams are looking at this going, well, I mean, Arkansas is in the top 20 of ESPN's FPI. I mean, how is that possible? Well, it's like everyone's trying to jump ship now. And it's football. The SEC have been the ones who have been ultra aggressive on this, and we've seen the Big Ten jump into it. And I think that's why we look at them as the top 2, is because they've already made the moves. The ACC had to kind of inherit Stanford and Cal because the Pac-12 disintegrated. SMU, who's going to turn away SMU, saying, oh, $80 million? Oh, yeah, we'll just write a check.
Yeah.
We don't need any revenue for the first 2 years. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it drives me crazy. And my question that it leads into is, when Miami now plays a team like a USF, who, despite having the strongest resume of the country right now, do we need to look at this game? Obviously, the coaches aren't going to feel this way. They're not going to coach us this way, potentially, as style points. Do we have to take into account now? I understand our seasons in front of us, right? I mean, ultimately last year, if you don't want to get left out of the playoffs, don't blow a 21-point lead to Syracuse. I totally get it. But hey, listen, I mean, what if we have an off week, or do we have to be perfect? That's what the question is, right? Because it can another team lose 3 games, 4 games, and be talked about? Do we have to beat USF by 30 points? Do we have to run up the score? What made us drop against Bethune-Cookman? Did we not score enough points? Where does the conversation go?
Right.
Yeah, it's a good question. And the only other piece I was going to say before that was Notre Dame is still ranked ahead of us in both of those metrics that you gave. And it's like, what are we doing? They've played 1 game, and it was against us, and they lost. So very confusing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a team like Miami, a non-SEC or Big Ten team there's a lot less room for error. And that's regardless of the schedule you're playing. I mean, this would now be, we beat a top 10 team in Notre Dame. This would be a top 25 victory if we beat USF, but it's not going to get counted the same way that it gets counted for some of these other schools. And it's sad, but all you can do, I guess, is take care of business. But I don't know about like style points per se. To me, maybe it'll help. but it's just like get the W, and that I think that takes care of it enough. But the problem is that when that loss comes later in the year, boy, do we get punished for it in those stupid FPI. I don't even know what these things are measuring. It's insanity.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all based like UF's a great example, just 'cause they're the hot topic right now. But they were 7-5 last year, I believe, and it's all hype because outside of that, there's no reason they should have been in the top 25 other than hype. They were a 7-5 team last year, and now they are 1-1 with a loss at home to an American Conference opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but they'll, somehow they'll still, make any wins against Florida and these other SC teams look like a big win, even though it's like, well, that actually might be a super mediocre team that is playing, but it's an SEC team, so they get this nod. Yeah,
and
makes me sick.
To go along with what Kurt was saying about how preseason rankings are insane, so the ESPN's Football Power Index, right? I'm reading this here, is a predictive system based on a team's expected points added per play for its offense, defense, and special teams. It uses Bayesian. What is that? Bayesian? I don't even know what that word is. It uses Bayesian modeling to account for preseason factors like returning starters and recruiting, and in-season data like actual game performance to measure how many points a team is expected to score above or below average on a neutral field. The goal is to predict future game and season outcomes by simulating the rest of the year thousands of times. It is literally taking into account starters, returning starters, and recruiting, regardless of what's happening on the field. Insane. Which is why Texas is all number one in all of these, because Arch Manning is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself, and so FPI loves that.
Yep.
Ugh.
Arch Manning looked really bad.
He's got a bum shoulder. It looks like.
That shoulder's hurting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to rile you guys up here as we get into this to this next game, but as we do look ahead now. We've got USF coming up. Obviously, we've discussed 2 huge wins. Pretty different. They dominated Boise State, and the Florida game, that was kind of a field goal fest, and it was ugly. This Byron Brown guy, quarterback for USF, kind of a poor man's Cam Newton. Big guy, physical runner. But ultimately a good player who's going to put pressure on our defense. We're going to have to be disciplined. Interesting. He hasn't thrown an interception in 2 years. Now, the asterisk there is that he's played about 4 games. He has not played a full season since 2023. And I think, to me, it's a testament to obviously his physical style of play. USF plays fast. Alex Golish is a Josh Heupel disciple, comes from that coaching tree, and very up-tempo.
Great coach.
Seems like a pretty cool guy too. Like I like to. Seems like a guy that I get why the players like to play for him. This USF team though, look at their secondary actually leads the country in yards per attempt right now, and it is littered with 3 stars from what used to be called, maybe we still call it, the state of Miami, which is I-4 South. A lot of South Florida talent. Looks like they kind of pick off guys who the big schools look over at, like St. Thomas Aquinas and schools like that. So certainly a team that we're going to take seriously. I don't think any of us up here think that this is going to be an absolute rollover. In fact, I think if I ask you guys directly, you've got a little bit of a pit in your stomach here, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the same feeling Florida had. Got like the sentiment around them coming into UF, like everyone, they were saying on game day, upset alert. Like it wasn't this like secret, and it still happened. Normally when that happens, it ends up just being like a blowout the other way. It's just like all hype for nothing, but they did it. So now even more so, I'm like, oh boy, like there's something to this team.
Yeah, and you can make the argument that like Kurt said, they've definitely They have the best resume. They're the hottest team in the country right now. Like, vibes could not be higher on that sideline. So I think, listen, it's going into the season, USF, like, and last year it was kind of circled as like a game like you got to get up for. Like, we are the more talented team. We're the better team. This year we've got them at home. Everything's in line there, but they've got a lot of talent, and the up tempo scares me a little bit just because of what we've seen with our rotation on defense and some of the falling out there. And then we're going to have to be doing some rotating and some subbing to keep up with them. And then, yeah, it's a big physical QB, and the dual threat aspect and what we've seen with some running quarterbacks early on this season. Those are just like a little wrinkles that could make the game interesting, but nothing about what Miami Hurricanes have shown these first two games all of that makes me feel pretty good about we're going to be ready to go for this USF team. It should be a good game. I'm very happy USF beat Florida, obviously because I hate Florida, but also now this is a ranked matchup. The Rock is going to be a good crowd there. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and I think we can go out there and now we have an opportunity to like add another really good win on our schedule this year.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last year, they jumped on us pretty quick. Took us a second to like warm up and catch up to this fast offense. So that's the good thing about this is we did face Brown last year. It's pretty much the same offense, a similar team. Like, we know what we're getting ourselves into, so it's not going to surprise us in that way. But hopefully we can. I mean, we won handedly. I think we dropped 50 that game, but
we pulled away at the end.
Yeah, it was a pull away at the end. It was, I think, at halftime it was a relatively close game.
It was.
Maybe we were losing or just like barely up, but yeah. So hopefully that doesn't take us by surprise this year. I have the Pitt, but I would have more of a Pitt if that UF game didn't happen. I think now people are really on notice about USF.
You would have more of a Pitt if that game didn't happen.
Yeah, just because they looked good against Boise State, but it's like, are we still going to be like, yeah, but it's USF? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but my Pitt's bigger now because it's like USF's better than I thought they were.
But Miami, like, we're going to be up for that game. Like, it's the CW network we're playing on, all right? This is what kids dream of playing in these types of games.
CW network, they've got to be feeling good. I bet you they've received some phone calls from like ESPN, ABC, be like, can we buy this from you?
Yeah. Absolutely. They went last week. They went from Dallas, which, like I said, a top 20 matchup, out to Corvallis, and Oregon State was on. I'm like, when did this network get so versatile? CW Sports is all over the country.
They're taking over.
But listen, USF is going to have our full attention, right? I think this is a balance of we show respect to USF for what they've accomplished so far. Again, I think Alex Golish is a good coach, and Brown is certainly talented, but we sort of broke him last year and effectively ended his season. And USF was really banged up. Their season actually kind of went off the rails after Miami. I think we just physically manhandled them in the trenches and hit them hard. And this is a better version of Miami, right? We have a much better defense. I think once again, be looking for communication, right? Communication in the secondary, communication with the linebacking core. And we have seen a dual threat quarterback now with Notre Dame who impressed with his legs, but I think we are going to game plan this to force. I see the shaking out as we're going to force Byron Brown to throw the ball, right. and that's what you want. He's got a long wind up throwing motion.
Yeah,
and I think I trust our secondary.
I do too.
They're starting to gain my trust.
We're so much more talented, and we've been on this side of it too, right? Where like we get off to a hot start, and everyone's like, "Oh, is the U back?" They've got they've got some nice wins, and maybe people are talking like we're good, but it's like deep down you're like, they're not really serious. This team's
they're years away. They're a couple years away.
They're not that level. And that's kind of my take on this is like, it's a great story and they're a good team and it might be close for the first quarter or two, but I'm going to be, my expectation for us is to ultimately do what we did last year and just lean on these guys
Right.
and ultimately flex our muscles.
Yeah, beat them for 4 quarters. And the good news is if we can handle Brown, we can definitely handle Lagway the next week. So it'll be a good test.
Yeah.
Just a joke.
Jimmy, you got that prep for us later this week too? I need in-depth about USF.
All right, boys. Next up, we have our lock of the week. The boys got back on track last week.
I stayed on track, so
Joe stayed on track. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, much needed win.
Yeah, a nice. Hopefully, you rode with the crew because take your pick. We went 3-0 here. Joe, you had. I mean, it was tight for a little bit, right? I don't know if you watched that game, but
yeah, I mean, I knew it was
classic Manny Diaz, really.
classic Manny. Yeah, it's one of those things like they look like they should have been winning in the first half and they were down, and then Illinois just took over. Yeah, it's classic Manny.
Yeah, blessed Manny.
Jimmy's off.
Jimmy
the
knows
rail.
Georgia State football.
Just man, went into the mud, went into the slop, and pulled Memphis minus 13.5.
Yeah,
out and taking care of business.
Pretty comfortable. I mean, actually, the first quarter, I think they were down. It was looking a little nerve-wracking.
This was down early.
Watch the game too.
I didn't even watch the Miami game.
And ultimately, I had Oklahoma versus Michigan. Yeah, I mean, Sherrone Moore just doesn't.
Underwood's got some growing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
a phenom, like a complete specimen, but yeah.
All right, it's week 3, lock of the week. Joe, I'll start with you. Who you got?
I think I still have the honors. I'm going Tennessee plus 7.5 versus Georgia. Tennessee is at home. They are the home dogs here. Listen, Georgia, we already mentioned, they lost to Austin P 20, or they beat Austin P, 28-6. Georgia has a QB1 problem over there. Their offense is not looking good. And they're at Tennessee. This place is going to be rocking. Tennessee's looked decent the last 2 weeks. Like, Tennessee's got a chance to win this game, but I think they at least cover. Give me Tennessee, the home dogs, versus the Georgia dogs. Yeah, Tennessee. If that wasn't clear.
Jimmy, what are you thinking here? What do you got?
I was between a couple here, but I think I'm going to land on Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
Back to the prime time.
Yeah.
To the big boys.
Yeah, it was either that or the Texas State Bobcats. Because I'm just kidding. No, but Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Texas A&M has not looked great. They've played some bad teams, and they haven't been like necessarily close games, but not the blowouts you'd expect playing. I think they played Utah State and who else? UTSA. Yeah, they beat UTSA 42-24. Utah State 44-22. They're going at Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a bye to sit on that loss. I think they're a good squad because I think we're a good squad. So maybe I'm a little biased here, and I want Notre Dame to win out because it makes us look good. So Notre Dame's favored by 6.5. So I'm going with Notre Dame on that. I think they'll cover.
Yep, like it. That game is that's at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah,
I think
at
you
Notre
said
Dame.
it, but it's up in. Yep. All right. I am rolling this week. I'm staying in the conference. I told you guys I watched a lot, almost all of that Clemson-Troy game I had on the screen, and obviously watched Clemson-LSU. And I think Dabo's got some issues over there in Clemson.
It was 17-0 at one point, wasn't it?
It was 16-0.
16.
Or 16.
Missed the extra point.
Troy had 3 turnovers and lost this game by 11 points. They were running the ball on Clemson. Cade Klubnik, I think he was shooting Roback commercials and playing golf all summer because I'm just astounded. Like he
Heisman favorite.
just he doesn't look very good. You can see like Dabo's. I mean, I think you guys it doesn't go bad very often for them, but when it does, it's like, I don't know if you listen to any of his sound bites or anything, but it's like he gets kind of whiny and he rolls
he's
guys under the
railing.
bus. Like,
Oh, I know.
goodness, he's been laying into Klubnik. Like, I don't know what he's doing. He's not reading the defense, and
the Boo Birds are out in Death Valley. Also, dude, I know they do the whole thing after they always tweet, "We win, we dance," and they dance in the locker room. They did that for this game. They posted, "We win, we dance," and a video of the whole team dancing in the locker room. Yeah,
wow.
the comments are
on that.
just
maybe that should be your best of X this week.
Oh my, that poor social media intern was just like, why?
Yeah, do I have to tweet
this? Tough. Yeah, it's bad times over there. It's bad vibes.
So
yeah,
so
that was another
they're
game.
packing up that bus and rocking their way down to Atlanta. They're playing Georgia Tech, a good Georgia Tech team. Haynes King, I think a guy who's just intent on leaving school with CTE.
Hasn't thrown a pass all year.
Every game just hobbling off after the end of the first quarter.
Hanging up, Haynes.
Off the turf. But a well-coached team. I just, getting this at 6.5 it's uncomfortable because you feel like you're getting the hook from Vegas. But I'm kind of with Joe on his is like, I kind of like Georgia Tech straight up here. And I take things for what they're worth. Right now. Is it all? It's down to 3.5.
Yeah, it opened, but
I bet this morning.
I saw when it opened at 6.5. Yeah.
Yes, 3.5 now.
Well, that's good news.
I'll allow it.
Jimmy, what's Tennessee Georgia at?
I saw that was dropping too.
It's at 7.
Okay. It touched 6.5 earlier. Yeah, listen, I'm just going to take Clemson for what they've shown me so far. The defensive line, weird. Like Peter Woods and all this, it really, it almost reminds me of Florida State last year. This was talked about as the best defensive line in the country, and I'm just watching Troy absolutely gash them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this one and for what I've seen so far. I like Georgia Tech here. Got it at 6.5. Seems like that's going to be a good number. Georgia Tech's the home team, so give me Georgia Tech.
I like it.
All right.
Moving on, we're going to finish up the show here with a little tying the bow up on our game. Your Miami Hurricanes are welcoming the South Florida Bulls in the second leg of this little home and home here. To South Florida, Miami Gardens, not South Beach. 4:30 kick on Saturday on the prestigious CW network.
4:30. Is there a hotter time in the day? That is peak.
Well, the soap operas come on at 8.
That's what it is. They're begging for the storm.
They
the
are.
Afternoon
Dude, there's been
showers.
so many weather delays across all of college football this year. It's awful.
Yeah, the Jags game got delayed today. Anyways,
should have canceled the Dolphins game.
We welcome Alex Golish, Byron Brown, down to Hard Rock Stadium. This game opened this morning at Hard Rock Sportsbook, 16.5. I didn't know which way it was going to go. I kind of thought, are they wanting people to bet it up over the hook at 17? Ultimately, this number has moved down. I believe I saw 15.5 earlier.
I'm still seeing 16.5.
Still seeing 16.5. So it's been kind of fluctuating today. But boys, top 20 matchup. I think, listen, hey, going into the season, we all knew that we were going to be hosting a team from the state of Florida who was ranked in the top 20. I just think that we're probably a week early, 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
But South Florida Bulls are coming in hot, and they're coming in confident. Did you see Grammatica in the holder, like kissing each other.
was
after
Yeah,
the-
that was.
That Grammatica, he's stone cold killer.
How many
Dude, he's
Grammaticas
good.
are there?
He's got a leg.
Is this the same one?
Yeah, same one from last year.
Nico Grammatica.
All right, boys. How are we feeling? How confident are we? Okay. How
Listen.
confident are we? Do we cover the spread here?
Listen, when I saw that spread, I thought it was too big. I didn't like it. I'm nervous about this game. I am. It's just, I know, I'm not, yeah, I'm just nervous.
You still nervous about Louis? No, I was the Louisville loss. Never mind.
And I think people are expecting, I think people are probably expecting a high scoring game, no? I think probably.
I would imagine.
What's the over under at, Jimmy?
But
You got
no,
that in front
the
of you?
total's only 54 and a half.
Oh boy. I think it's going to go the other way. I think it's going to be kind of low scoring. I think this is going to be a bad game. I don't know. There's something in my gut that tells you this is going to be just a bad. It's going to be a little rainy.
Official pick is
messy.
the under.
I'm going USF, the Bulls, 20. Your Miami Hurricanes, Miami, looking to become the champions of the state. This is their first out of 3 attempts to run the state of Florida. 24. 24-20 is your final score. And I'm sweating. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like that.
In there if it's that close.
It's one of those games that's like, it's a big get over. It's not even a hump, like get over the hump. It's just a weird game you just kind of got to get past. This is like a weird game. It's just like, we got to just find a way to win down there at 4:30 on CW Network and get the heck out of there and on to Florida.
Yeah.
It's not a trap game because we know what to, like, we know USF's ranked. They're coming off a big win. It's just a weird, uncomfortable game. USF, it's going to be their, like, USF, this is their national championship. Like, they're now playing, they come off a giant win against Florida. They're like, if we can find a way to beat Miami, that will do numbers, recruiting, everything.
Yep.
Who cares what happens the rest of the season? It will do numbers.
Yep.
Just get me a win and get out of there. 24-20, Canes.
Drew's nervous.
I 100% agree. I think we can, once again, we can kind of make or break USF season here. I think this is their Super Bowl. This is their championship. This is going to be, for Alex Golish, it's the biggest game of his life.
Yep.
I mean, these guys are coming down here looking to make a statement, and it's the weight that you bear. You know, when we're a top 5 team now, we've got the nation's respect. This is what you got to deal with, you know? And I think to the point of how this game opened up, and maybe some of the surprise that you guys are expressing, is Vegas sees it too. I mean, Vegas is looking at it like Miami is for real, you know? Yeah. And so I think this is going to be similar to last year. I think USF is a little better than last year. I think Miami, I think defensively we're a lot better than last year. I think this is a game that we pull away in the second half. I think it's going to be uncomfortable to start, and I'm kind of feeling that, like, that let's be jerks. I'm feeling that mentality. It's starting to creep in where I just want to come out and say, like, I'm not worried about USF.
I know. I want to say that so bad.
We're gonna humble. We like this game. We're gonna take care of business. And my score prediction. I'm gonna go Miami 37, USF 16.
Okay, come on now.
I like that. How do you
How
get to
about,
37?
I'll give you this. There's so many ways.
Let me think.
I'll give you this.
I'll go possession by possession.
I'll give you this. If we go out there and dominate against USF, then for the rest of the season, I won't say I'm scared. I'll say we're gonna go like we are the better team.
Listen, I was sitting on the podium at work today on the 10th tee at 7:30 in the morning, and I laid Miami at 16.5. Didn't
Yeah.
even think about it.
I did not do that. None of that.
I'm thinking it's going to be an offensive battle, as Joe alluded to. Even though they actually have a decent defense.
No, I'm saying people are thinking that. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go along with what people are thinking. I'm thinking I think it's going to be USF 21, your Canes 42. I think we're going to put some points on the board, especially maybe like Kurt said,
The
maybe
juice
pull
is
away a little
loose.
bit at the end. Yeah, the juice is loose. I just, I think if you have a team that we think we have, these are the games that you just you impose your will.
I agree.
You look at those championship, Clemson teams where like a team like this, you put 70 on. I'm not going to say we're going to put 70, but I think I think Carson Beck could put 42 points on this USFD. And just no spitting in any guys' faces, and we should handle them pretty good. Yeah.
What Vegas needs to start considering is Mario Cristobal friends with that coach when they set the total points score?
Yeah. I wondered when they made the Bethune spread. I'm like, are they putting that? They should. But
that was 55.5.
Yeah. Never got close.
Yeah. No, it was on numbers looked close. It was never close. It was never going to happen.
Yep. All right, boys. Well, listen, it's another big one, whether it's USF or not. This is yet another big game down in Miami Gardens, and
will you be there,
ultimately, Kurt? I will be there. I'm taking the family. So again, if it's as close as Joe predicts, I got to be on my best behavior.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be losing my mind. But I'm looking forward to it. And listen, we got no reason for us to be looking ahead to UF. Big game.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, this is the better team, so there's nothing to
right.
look ahead for.
That's right. This is the battle.
Let's get
state
champs, baby.
State champs.
I know this came many weeks earlier, and I thought,
yep.
While we're talking about this was going to be my best of X, but was just bringing all the teams together, but new uniform.
That's brutal.
Tell the people what you're
showing. Sorry. It's DJ Lagway, but his name on his jersey is Lagalele, as an ode to DJU last year for the Florida State Seminoles. So yeah. How would you even say that? Because it was Uyangale,
Lanolin.
Tough. I'm not gonna hit Lagway as much as the play call is horrific over there in Gainesville. Just atrocious.
I'm going my best of X. I'm going. It's the video of Brendan Bett spitting on the USF player. And Marsh Cristobal at Hurricanes Marsh tweets, "Zero team culture. Imagine what Coach Cristobal would do." And I read that. I was like, yeah, like what? I don't know what Billy Napier's doing. Like, but imagine how Mario Cristobal would react if one of our players spit on another player.
It'd be this face inside.
Yeah.
That frown.
Yeah. When he's looks like he's about to cry.
Yeah. He was soaked 30 seconds into this game.
Yeah, but we're building a culture that some other programs just simply are not building.
That's a good pull. Doing that during the show, Joe. That was good.
Yep.
Wait, what?
My best
pulling that tweet while the show's going on.
Oh, thanks. What are you talking about? Oh God.
I saw a lot of crying Gators this week, and it's been awesome. I think my favorite one, it's actually a clip. It's don't know if you guys saw this, but there's a 3rd and 3. Florida's around the 45-yard line. They're up 16-15. It's midway, late-ish through the fourth quarter, and the tweet here with the clip. It says, "I don't mind a run on 3rd and 3 in this situation. The problem I have, other than Trey Wilson blocking a defensive tackle, is you have a tight formation, 10 of 11 defenders in the box, doomed to fail from the beginning. This is the type of stupidity and play calling that we have had to deal with for the longest time. And people looking at us in certain situations and going, "What can the coaches read the room? What are you doing? Not utilizing personnel the right way." This is a receiver who is like 5'9", 160 pounds. They're running a trap play where he has to crack back block in motion the defensive tackle. And it was, that to me was, I think that this is a nail in the coffin game for Billy Napier and what's been surrounding him, this narrative that on Twitter and the former players are piling on. I wanted to find.
It's bad.
I lost my, I had some tweets from the former players I couldn't find, but when that starts happening again, we've been there, we've seen that firsthand. When the former players start to pile on after a bad loss,
the beginning of the end. No, I'm what I said in the aftermath report is I swore I saw these same graphics last year, like this time of year, that Billy's cooked, fire Billy, and they put those away for a little bit because they started winning a couple games. But not good over there in Gainesville. But state champ, this game next week, it's big.
That's right, big one this week.
This week.
Like I said, guys, shout out to the College Huddle Network.
Yes, sir.
Check us out on YouTube. Jimmy, look for that USF interview this week. Big deep dive from Jimmy, an interview there.
Better be
good. Boys.
All right. Go Canes.
Go Canes.
Come on. I'm not nervous.
Hitting that stuff, you hearing that sound.